Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. My name is Brian. We talk about Blu-rays here, and I'm going to do another one of my horror trios, despite the fact that I can't really tell if you guys are digging these, but let's see if I can hold your attention for this one. We shall start with kind of a cheat, because this is a trio, but the Blu-ray 4K set counts as one. Even though we're getting two movies in this, this is the 4K Ultra HD special limited edition of Demons 1 and 2. This is the stateside release from Synapse Films. You may already have the Arrow version of that, which I do have, and which, in looking at the features, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this all right, but I believe the only feature that, well, I'm going to have to sort of qualify this, but one of the main features that you get, that you don't get on this, is I want to say one of the commentaries, the Kat Ellinger, Heather Drain commentary. Is that, that's the one I don't think is on. Nope, it is on this one. Never mind. Yeah, I can't remember. I feel like there's one commentary maybe that's different. But the neat thing about this, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Demons 1 and 2, really great Italian horror, directed by Lamberto Bava, son of Mario Bava, and the first film is truly an original in that it is a movie theater horror movie where a bunch of people are invited to this screening of this movie, and they get this weird dude giving out tickets. He's got like a metal face, and he gives them this cool golden ticket kind of thing, and they go and they show up at the theater, and there's all kinds of cool props from the movie that they're going to watch outside, including a mask, and one girl puts on the mask and scratches her face. And I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie, but the basic gist is that as they watch the movie, where people in that movie are turning into demons, some people in the audience start to turn into demons. It becomes kind of a zombie movie, but it's more like an infection. I mean, I guess you get infected in zombie movies too, but these demons are gnarly looking, gross, and gory, and this is, in a period when special effects folks are trying to emulate Rick Baker and American Werewolf in London, and so there's, bladders and people's faces exploding with green goo and gnarly teeth and claws, and it's just really crazy, wild stuff, and it's just a really well done and enjoyable blast of a movie. A bunch of people trapped in a confined space trying to get out. That's the first movie. The second movie is kind of the same universe, although it's almost like, I don't know, it's hard to explain how they connect exactly. But it takes place in an apartment building, so it's kind of like Shivers. They come from within the Cronenberg movie, except instead of, people turn into a Shivers, now they turn into demons. And I really like Demons 2 a lot more. I think I talked about that when I talked about the Arrow version. I was just really more impressed with Demons 2 than I remembered, and so I love both. So this is it's a slip cover over just a clear case, just your sort of standard clear case, and you get, booklet. Well, actually, that's just a catalog. But you do get a booklet, and you do get like the golden ticket thingy, and you get both 4Ks in here. Now, what I was concerned about as a fan of Synapse and what they do was I was looking at the back and I was reading the special features, and again, I think it's pretty close in terms of most of the features that you get from the Arrow to the Synapse. Like I said, there might be a missing commentary, but what was cool about the Demons Synapse releases was that, like, let's go back to the Steelbooks. Like, this is the Demons Steelbook release, and it had a whole bunch of features on it. Like the all-new featurettes, Carnage at the Cinema, Lombardo Bava and his splatter masterpiece, Dario and the Demons. all that stuff, right? And that wasn't on the Arrow version, and I was worried it wasn't on this, but it actually is part of this release. So my thing is like, oh, can I get rid of my Steelbooks? Not that I really want to, because they're gorgeous, but if I wanted to, I now have all those features on this 4K. And so if you have the Blu-ray or Steelbook release from Synapse, which is great, you have all those features, and now you have the 4K, which looks fantastic. Again, I don't know if it's the exact same transfer, but it looks just stunningly good. But I would expect nothing less from Synapse. They do incredible work, and I've never been disappointed by any release of theirs, especially in recent memory. I just feel like they've stepped up. They were always good, but they've stepped up into a territory where they and Blue Underground are doing meticulous, 4K restorations, Arrow 2, and this is just a really nice release. So, you don't get the two separate ones like you could get the Arrow, I guess, because you can get them separately. But this is a really nice, double pack, and does have some nice features, commentaries, and stuff like that. Like I said, I think it's really comparable to what you're getting with the Arrow, plus the stuff from the Steelbook releases in terms of features. So it's a really wonderful set, and two really great movies, looking wonderful. So highly recommended. The Synapse, this is all region, but then 4K is all region, but definitely worth grabbing if you haven't gotten the Arrow, or even if you have, maybe something to think about. Just a really good set. So then next up we have Death Screams. This is from Arrow, and it is a bizarre slasher. I love this. In one of the most unlikely cinematic pairings of all time, David Nelson, who rose to fame as a child star playing alongside his real-life family in the wholesome TV show The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Yes, Ricky Nelson's brother directed this movie. And he directs Playboy Playmate and adult star Susan Kiger in this body count heavy, long overlooked slice of Southern fried hack and slash, 1982's Death Screams. And it says, late one night, a young couple are brutally murdered at a makeout spot by an unseen assailant. Their bodies are tossed into a nearby river. As the lifeless lovers drift slowly downstream, the residents of the town excitedly prepare themselves for their annual carnival, unaware that a machete-wielding maniac with a twisted grudge is lurking in their midst. When a group of teen revelers plan a late-night after-party down in the local cemetery, they unwittingly set the stage for a bloodbath. Death Screams, which was released on US VHS as House of Death, oozes early 80s regional slasher charm from its every pore, boasting in everything plus the kitchen sink final reel slash throats, bisected bodies, and exploding heads. At long last arriving on Blu-ray, lovingly restored from the only known existing 35mm print, this little scene slasher classic is ready to carve its way into the bleeding hearts of horror fans everywhere. So this one, it's fun. It's not a kill a minute or anything. In fact, it's a long setup, and I use the term hangout movie a lot, but this is definitely that. You're hanging out with a group of young people who are, gearing up for this carnival. And what's nice is that in this kind of regional story, I love that embossed, Death Screams stuff, by the way. And here's the, that's the cover there. But, with these regionals, sometimes they'll let one actor be the goofy guy, if you will. And this one has a really good goofy guy, he just says stuff that you're like, I don't think that was in the script. I think it seems like he's coming up with his own stuff, I could be wrong. Maybe they wrote this character specifically that way, but this guy just feels like a dude who was they just sort of let him go. He's like a regional actor, but he has just this fun, quirky personality. And so he just says weird stuff, I wish I'd written down some of his lines, but he had a bunch where I was like, that's a pretty good one, And so he livened things up even when I was waiting for all these kills to happen. And the last 15 minutes are pretty crazy. But there is just a lot of hanging out, a lot of talking in the interim. But there is some kills here and there throughout. I feel it's a little too thin in terms of the spread of the kills. And then concentrated at the end, but the end is nuts and super fun. So if you're into that kind of movie and you have the patience, I think you'll dig this. Brand new 2K restoration from archival 35mm print. Let's see here. Brand new audio commentary with producer Charles Eisen and special effects artist Worth Keeter. Moderated by filmmaker Phil Smoot. Brand new audio commentary with Hysteria Continues. All the fun of the scare, the making of death screams. Newly produced making of documentary featuring interviews with producer Charles Eisen, special effects artist Worth Keeter, writer Paul Elliott, actors Hans Manship and Kurt Rector, actor producer's assistant supervising editor Sharon Alley, and actor talent wrangler Robert Billy Bob Melton. And then you got TV radio spots. But that documentary, I watched some of that and I was digging that. It's always cool to hear the story of a film like this. How does it get made? What do they remember about it? And I just like it when a movie like this gets that kind of love and attention, and that's a classic Arrow move. They do love them some slashers, and for slasher fans, they've unearthed a lot of stuff that I feel like hasn't been seen or hasn't been seen by a lot of people. And I love that they do that. I love that that's where their affection lies. So this is one for the slasher fans for sure. And then last but not least, I picked up Humanoids from the Deep, which I already owned on Blu-ray, and then I picked up the Steelbook when it came out, which I still haven't even opened. But I had to get this because it has some really nice features on it. And for those that don't know, Humanoids from the Deep is a pretty gnarly movie. Something evil is happening in the sleepy fishing village of Noyo. Fish-like humanoid creatures spawned by mutant DNA begin rising from the ocean, looking to spawn with the local women. Scientist Susan Drake, along with local fisherman Jim Hill, Doug McClure. I love Doug McClure. I forgot he's in this. Looks for the cause of this invasion of the creatures from the ocean floor. When the annual Salmon Festival begins, some unwanted guests are about to crash the festivities. Also starring Vic Morrow. Let's see here. Cindy Weintraub and Dennis Gallick. Score from the Academy Award-winning composer James Horner. Special effects and creature designs by Rob Bottin. Very nice. But the big stuff here, new 4K scan of the original 35 camera negative. And I'm not sure. This also has that. This says the uncut international version of the original camera negative. And I wonder if it's the same transfer, even though they're not mentioning that. This one had come out recently. Excuse me. And so I would assume it's probably the same scan, but I can't be sure. The running times are similar, so it really feels like it probably is the same. But what's neat about this one is it has an audio commentary from film critic Kim Newman and Sean Hogan, as well as another commentary by the great Sam Deegan. So those two things alone were worth the pickup for me. Getting those two new commentary tracks. This one also includes the making of, with the interviews with the, cast, crew, etc., and deleted scenes. And so that's here as well. But, so you could just get this if you want. Of course, this is Region B locked, and this is a Region A disc. But if you like this movie, there is some intense stuff in this. The humanoids do go after some ladies, and it is not pleasant at all. But it is a very interesting monster movie from the Corman School. And I'm a fan of it. So I had to pick this up, and I just wanted to make people aware of it and the commentaries, because I think they could be a draw for others like they were for me. So that is it for this little horror trio. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and there's some stuff in here for you to check out. And I thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.